Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the final edition of the qualifiers for the Final Fantasy I Randomizer Chaos Rush Tournament. We've got 3 hot seeds ready and coming your way. I'm Leggy Starscream, and joined with me in the booth.
Good evening, everyone. I am Wolflink0370, and I am excited to be here. So tonight we have, or in our first seed at least, we have a thief, a fighter, and a white mage.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We finally have a thief after 3 straight nights of not seeing this character, and it'll be interesting to see how the different players handle this. One of the popular strategies is to kill off the thief, especially when you have 4 characters to work with, and use the rest of them, because the thief's main utility is running away, unless you find a tail. Other people might try to leave the thief alive as a meat shield, and so I'm expecting to see a couple of different play styles come out of these racers tonight.
Well, considering that it would be a 2-man party regardless, I would say if they find a Masamune and the tail, I'd say give that thief the Masamune and have him go to town. Just so there's a little extra damage on the tail, because unless they find an early fade, they're going to be focused on single target attacks for the most part, unless they find some special items.
Yeah, and one of the things the runners might be checking is that early black magic, because the thief can learn all level 1 through 4 black magic spells, which, could be anything from Tempered Fast, which will buff your physical attack, to things like Ice 3 and Nuke, which are really good AoEs, and especially with the alternate final bosses that we're featuring tonight, you definitely want some of that AoE in your bag.
Yeah. Of course, Chaos Rush, the boss is already open to us. So, really, in a nutshell, this is find your gear, find a good grind spot because the enemy counters are shuffled, and then just go defeat Chaos. That's really all there is to it.
All right, and with that, we're going to get started very shortly.
I'm going to be quite interested to see how our runners go.
And it looks like we have our first runners off to the races. Tyrenex at the very first moment swapping that fighter and the thief's position, because the fighter is probably going to be a bit more tanky.
Ooh. Nothing good in the level 1 white magic except for exit.
But the king of Corneria Castle has the god sword, the Mazmune, as Mikey J goes up there and grabs it right away.
And there's a flame sword for the fighter in Corneria as well. So they're good in terms of combat, at least in terms of, like I said, the single target.
And the crown for sale in the shop, you probably don't want to pick that up right away, but once you get a little bit of money, maybe from, I don't know, beating up Garland, you can pick that up right away.
Yeah, it is. And the crown leads to the crystal, which leads to the herb, which leads to the key, and that's, what, another 60% because of the key item scaling?
Yeah, and in addition, the TNT chest in Corneria Castle is also incentivized, so that's going to be another key item, whether it's, an extra however much percentage, 20% on your XP and gold gains, or if it's something like the power bracelet, the power glove. Wow. And I claim to know how to play this game.
We have black shirts and silver armor for sale. Silver armor is not the greatest, but hey, it's at least some defense for the fighter.
And that black shirt is really nice once you can afford it, because that'll be a repeatable source of Ice 2 casts.
Yeah, looks like Tyrannex picked up one each for his Thief and White Mage, and he's about to pick up his Masu in here.
Yeah, Asher and Mikey have both killed Garland at this point, getting the ship from Princess Sarah. And looks like we're off to the races.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's going to be picking up that crown. So, we're actually seeing TOF revisited. There's some Opal armor there, and some Dragon armor as well.
Unfortunately, our fighter won't be able to equip those until we get a tail, if I suppose we get a tail. But with that exit spell, diving in and grabbing those 7 chests for free is a pretty strong strategy.
Yeah, we're seeing Astos fighting on Mikey J's side here. And the whole key side quest also opens up the trap tiles at Astos' castle, which could be a good grinding spot.
Indeed. It also opens up 2 tiles down in the bottom of Marsh Cave, as well as the tiles on the right side of the Temple of Feet. Tyrannex has just taken out the pirates in Provoca, and got the slab, I believe, for his troubles.
Unfortunately, that's not too useful unless you want to go and get another 20%.
But in Provoca, we have Pro Rings for 1919 and Opal Bracelets for 8373. Those are going to be some really, really good endgame armor, especially for that White Mage, but for really any of our light warriors.
Yeah.
Ooh, level 2. Yeah, go ahead.
Wall seems pretty good. I believe that's all resistances?
Yes. Casting the wall spell at a character, basically, if you don't have all the ribbons you need, you can cast wall on them and get the same effect. Looks like we have a...
Sorry, go on.
Looks like we have a katana for sale in Provoca, which will be nice if we get that class change.
I was about to say, I noticed the level 2 magic. We saw Zap and Haste there.
Oh, those are going to be sweet. Haste is the best buff spell in the game. It doubles the number of physical attacks you do on any given round. Zap is an insta-kill effect that happens to be time elemental, which means that nothing resists it except for Chaos himself. Yeah, and of course, all of this black magic assumes that the tail is in play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, base thief can't use magic. It has to be a ninja. We haven't even talked about the fact that the fighter can also use magic, so if Fade is in a learnable spot, we could have double Fade going into Chaos.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't seen it, so the last chance hope for the fighter to learn Fade is coming up on Asher's screen. And no, but there is Harm 4 in a Night learnable spot, which could be really useful if we get the Lich and Phantom alternate final boss. Life 2 and Invis 2 at level 4. Both of... Oh, and Heal 3, wow.
Unfortunately, I think Life 2 is in the harm spot, so the Knight can't learn it even if he could.
Yeah, but those are going to be really, really good pickups for that White Mage.
Yeah.
We have a Fade sighting in Provoca along with Cure 3. I mean, sorry, Melmond.
Yeah, it's level 5 magic. I'm surprised no one has gone to Crescent Lake yet to check the free item there.
Yeah, it looks like Tyrannex is finally getting around to doing some key item checking, popping in to talk to Sergeant the Sage and getting a vanilla rod.
Because of course.
Not that we need that this time, as... What is a fiend? Those are the things in Temple of Fiends, right?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Looks like Vorpal and Ice Sword for sale in Crescent Lake. Those would be exciting, but we've already found them Moss Immune, and on this scaling, you're not really going to need that crit rate off the Vorpal. That Ice Sword...
Tail.
Oh, yes! So that's going to open up a lot.
And Cure 4 was also level 6. I believe also Fog 2 I saw.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might be interesting. It's only going to be used on the Ninja, but Saber was level 4 black magic.
Which, you know, if you have Saber at a learnable spot, that's where you want it anyway.
It was slot 4. I'm not sure if the Ninja can learn that or not, personally.
It's Ninja can learn all black magic levels 1 through 4.
So okay, so it's learnable. And
yeah, and of course, you go ahead.
Tyrannus is now class changed.
Choosing to skip diving those Cardia Islands, which normally in a lot of flags I would mark down as a misplay, but in flags like these where you're going fast and you're going to make a bunch of money anyway, and it's not, and anything you'd ever want is sold at shops, I think that's the right call.
You remember that incentivized TNT chest?
Mm-hmm.
Mikey J just checked in, and it's our power gauntlet.
Yo! You know how we were talking about that Saber spell earlier? Well, if you give someone the power gauntlet, they can cast it.
And I think that's going to be, outside of using Fade on the White Mage or White Wizard later, that's going to be the primary way to get some damage in. Is just buff up your Ninja and Knight with Saber, and then just have them swing for the fences.
Yeah, and now at this point, our runners are probably feeling really well equipped. Now they just need to get some levels. And it looks like Mikey's found some Frost Wolves, not sure where. Tyrannex has found sandworms inside of the Earth Cave, and that's a reasonable grind.
Looks like the Frost Wolves from Mikey J is an overall encounter if the background is to be believed.
Yeah, I missed where on the overworld he was.
On the way to Ordeals, but no canoe.
Oh no! Well, at least the Frost Wolves are reasonable experience. Looks like J-Lo's getting bullied by Medusas, or maybe his party was already dead.
Tyrannus is confident in grinding the sandworm tile.
And it's working out for him. He's already got level 15.
Gonna go ahead and rest in the inn. And Mikey J is gonna try the Peninsula Power.
Chat suggesting we grind the fiends. Asher checks the locked Topher spike chest and finds nothing exciting.
It looks like the Hall of Giants is the Hall of Catmen.
You know, like, nya?
Oh,
Looks
there's
like
some mud golems here, too.
Ooh. I'd have to run the numbers to see whether or not the sandworms or the golems is the better encounter, but it looks like Tyrannex is definitely going for the sandworms.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've seen the Astos trap tiles, though. Those, I'm still saying that those could be okay.
Asher's checking them right now. Found the arachnids.
Not the greatest, unfortunately. What's the center tile? Raves.
Which can be okay, especially with Harm 4, but Asher decides that they want none of it.
Yeah. Looks like it's a relatively weak group as well. So it seems the Sandworm is going to be the grind of choice, unless one of our trap tiles elsewhere is a lot better.
Yeah, we haven't checked my personal favorite place to check, which is the Volcano Armory. There's two different trap tiles in there. But I don't blame Tyrannex for just going to town on the Sandworms. One of the things with these flags is you have to make the trade-off of how much time do I want to spend looking for a better grind spot versus how much time I'm going to spend just going for the grind right now.
Well, Asher's going to attempt the Golden Fights. He is armed with Fade and the Zeus Gauntlet.
Looks like things are going down, but those are fairly beefy rockmen.
Lots of make short work of them, though. Ooh, the Sandworms have Cremate.
Yeah, and I mean that's they have Trance, which is even spicier. Whew. But looks like Tyrannex hit that magic level 24 on the fighter, which will give that fighter a 5th hit with the Mosmian. As he goes and does Astos.
Yeah, doing the Astos chain will probably grind more on the Sandworms after getting all the key items.
Of course, a lot of that grinding would have gone a little further if you had done that sooner, but you know, sometimes you just get so excited about a spot that you just go to town and forget the rest of it. Chat pointing out that the Mud Golems have under 180 health. So that's pretty snazzy.
That's a good thing, I suppose. The Rock Golems are the big threat, though, and it looks like they have taken the life of Asher's Thief. And J-Lo is turning into Slab.
Which I think it gets you out of your inventory, so that could be useful for managing things. But other than that, turning in the Slab isn't really going to do much for you.
Yeah, best case scenario is you go to the 11-ish town and just get the chime, but you don't really need that.
And that's also a pretty long walk, where you might get overworld encounters, and they might even be good, but you're much better off finding a tile to grind. Looks like Mikey dug out the ruby in the Dwarven Armory, and finds a ribbon and an opal bracelet in the Titan's Trove.
Somewhere for the White Mage. Or Wizard, rather.
Yeah. That ribbon's going to be super useful because, let's face it, those fiends often have a bunch of nasty elemental AoE and insta-death spells that can just destroy a party. And so having that ribbon is going to give at least one party member almost perfect protection. Unfortunately, with the way that the RNG works, it is still possible to get hit by an insta-death spell through a ribbon.
And Tyrannex just stocking up here.
I think he's ready for seeing what awaits us in the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Gonna go ahead and pick up fast. Ice 2 was also there as an option for AoE, but they have the black shirt, so no reason to get that.
Yeah, you might as well, if you've got the black shirt, you know, might as well not even worry about wasting those charges.
All right. First fiend up is Tiamat. Ooh.
Oh, and while I was watching Tyrannex, it looks like Asher pulled carry too.
Are they going separate ways, or are they through the first fight?
I'll have to wait till Asher comes out the other side, but I think they went separate ways.
We're getting confirmation that it was separate ways. And that Tiamat is no good, so Tyrannex is going to try the carry. Asher's through it.
Yeah, let's see who's hiding behind carry this time. It is the Kraken.
Ooh. That guy has a nasty reputation in the randomizer for being quite the wall.
Yeah, as it turns out, in the randomizer, physical attacks are king, both in terms of how your party does damage and how the enemy party does damage. And as you saw there, Kraken smacks down Asher's Thief for 500 damage. Honestly, if Kraken proves to be enough of a wall, we might see some runners going up and checking places like Gaia to see if white shirts are for sale in the armor shop.
Alright, well, Asher is through. We'll see what Chaos has in store for us. Gonna life chew up the Thief. Meanwhile, Tyrannex is through. Tiamat will be fighting Lick 2. And today we have... Oh. That looks nasty.
Ah, yes. The evil robot. And the Thief goes down in basically one hit. Looks like the evil men have over 200 health, so you'll need to get a really good roll on that fade. But let's face it, Asher is currently our best seeded player in this tournament, so I'm confident.
Yeah, here comes the second fade. They should wipe up the evil men, so now it's just down to the double war mech. I would assume these are weaker than the original.
It's random. They're randomized just like anything else.
Okay, on the base stat line, they're this equal or weaker?
Could go up or down. But what does make them nicer is the script shuffle, which is one of the things that this. Oof. One of the things that this randomizer does is it shuffles around all of the skills and spells among two different pools of enemies. One of those pools is the 4 Fiend refights, which we're seeing in these trap tiles, Chaos and Warmech. And what that means is Warmech no longer has the constant nuclear spam that makes it so infamous. However, who knows what it does have? It could have anything, up to and including the nukes that are found on Lich 2 and Chaos's spell list. It could have Cure 4.
Alright, well, now it's time for Tyrannex to try his luck against the little Warmech.
Yeah, he's down to just the robots at this point, and we'll see if he can be the first to take any of them out.
Trying to keep his health up as best he can. One's down. Rub does not connect. Cure for are going all in with the fighter.
Smart play. The fighter is your main source of damage, and you just want to keep them up as best you can.
Heals the white mage. 2 more charges of Cure 4. Ooh, well timed.
The stop gets the white mage, so that Invis 2 cast is not going off, but we're going to try again. Lit 2, that's nothing.
Meanwhile, Asher is still fighting Kraken here.
Wormek swings in for about 200 damage. Gonna heal that up.
Alright, this guy's got to be getting close. A fade.
And Tyrannex finishes with an official SRL time of 22 minutes and 52 seconds.
And is first of this in this first heat of the night. Well done.
GG. In the meantime, it looks like J-Lo is now cleaning up the Cardia Islands of their chests. Asher has pieced out to get a class change, and we'll probably do a little bit of shopping. And Mikey is getting beat up by the Queen of Dragons, but gets through it with 1 fighter left.
And we are now joined by Tyrannex. GG's.
Hey, thank you.
That Wormek is a little bit iffy.
Yeah, I mean it was really close. That was like one of the ones I really didn't want to see.
Yeah, with it having Rub, you could have easily lost your fighter and then had to restart that entire fight.
Oh yeah.
Asher was actually ahead of you, but that very thing happened. He lost his fighter to Rub and had to reset.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we have seen 1 ribbon so far this seed, and it was in the Titan's Trove.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot there for a second until the very end of the fight that I had wall, but the time to actually cast it, so I did get kind of fortunate.
Yeah, and there was also Pro Rings available at Provoca, so could have easily got past the Rub.
Yeah, I did have that only for my white mage, I think.
Ooh. Unfortunately, Mikey J here is, defiantly trying to survive the final fight, but with only the knight available, does not survive. And we have a second place finisher in Cheesenator HS. The time of 24:10, I believe.
Though all that time I spent doing the key quest to get that power gauntlet, I didn't even cast the power gauntlet one.
Yeah, it's tricky in these alternate final bosses. It's hard. It's often hard to find the time with having all of those enemies on screen. Ali Jabrap, our 3rd place finisher, finishes with a time of 26 minutes flat.
Unfortunately, the Volcano Treasury only had the slime scums.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, it looks like the best grind spot we've seen so far is either those Mudgulls and Rockgulls or the Sandworms in Earth Cave. Earth Cave was the place to be today.
Yeah, I did everything in those. Those Sandworms had next to no health. I think maybe just over 200.
I think we may have spoke too soon. JLo7's found a squad of 4 Agamas in the volcano.
Yeah, but they're running around, so that unless there's like a really good way to manipulate that off a reset, that's unfortunately not going to be something to grind.
No, that's unfortunate.
Vanilla Agama tile would be pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, I didn't even go to the volcano. Was there anything good?
JLo's giving us our first look right now.
I did see a white shirt available in the armory, but that was pretty much it.
We have our 4th place finisher in Gregory Puff with a time of 27:37.
Oh. Mikey J just found the canoe behind the trap tiles in the upper right of our Fiends, or Temple of Fiends, rather.
Oh no.
I mean, it's another key item.
True, I just feel bad after, having walked all the way to Ordeals to find the canoe like that. Ooh, JLo finds another ribbon in the 4th floor of Volcano.
And actually, Asher might be coming in 5th place here.
Yeah.
One more mech.
I got him up. He looks like he's fine, unless something bad happens.
Yeah. I can't quite tell whether or not that knight has been fasted or not, but
I don't think so.
This looks like a pretty good space to be.
Oh, the Warmax also had Ice 3 in their pool, and Ice 2.
Yeah, you got it.
And it's down. Asherwell's finishing with an official SRL time of 28:43.
I'm going to take a bit of a break before the next one. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Heats.
Yep, thanks.
Alright, so it looks like JLo is still checking volcano trap tiles. Looking for something good.
Yeah, 31 in chat asks, why do people kill off 2 characters? Is it for the other 2 to get more XP and level up faster? The answer is yes. Enemies in combat give a certain amount of XP, which is divided amongst all living party members at the end of the fight. So if you only have 1 or 2 people up, you're getting way more XP on those people than if you have the full complement living and running around.
Meanwhile, JLo finding a free katana.
And while I wasn't looking, we had 2 more finishers, Tarnin and Bractius Muse, ending at 29:12 and 29:33 respectively.
And another ribbon in the volcano as well. Some good pickups there for JLo.
Yeah, dang. The bottom of that volcano is really worth it tonight.
Yeah. And as I said, he even got a free katana for his ninja.
And we are now joined by Asher. GG.
Thank you very much.
So, Asher, that rub right at the end of the war mech, that must have hurt quite a bit, because at that time you were in a position to actually take this entire race.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I felt really good through the whole thing, but I think the lesson of the day is when you buy a ribbon, you should probably equip it. Because I didn't realize until maybe my 3rd dive that I had not equipped the ribbon on the night.
Yeah, as it turns out, unfortunately, in this game, you need to equip things for them to be useful. A mistake I've made a couple of times and has always kicked me in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, I can't feel bad. I ran a good race. I was wondering if I should promote the thief. I made the right call to not promote the thief. And even though I got hit by slow 2 at the end there, I felt like I was close because all the evil men went down pretty fast, but no ribbon, it's going to cost me.
Now, did you check Provoke at all?
Yeah, I did. I did Pirates last. I actually almost forgot, and which is why I checked the menu. I was like, hey, where's my level 2 magic? Oh yeah, Pirates. So sometimes when I route, I'll do Pirates last instead of first. It just depends on if I get a crown early and where I go around the world. So yeah, I checked Provoke at the end.
Well, level 2 black magic there had fast, and the armor shop actually had pro rings.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, no, I did see the pro rings. I didn't go back to buy them for some dumb reason. But even with fast, I mean, what my decision was is that do I feel like I even need any of the black magic at all to win the race or do good in the race? If I have a knight with Mazza and the power bonk and a white mage with cure 4 and invis 2. And if it wasn't for the ribbon, I might not have. But fast certainly would have helped versus that slow 2.
Yeah. So, how many different grind tiles did you wind up checking before settling in?
Let's see. There was Temple of Fiends, which was garbage. There was both of them in Northwest Castle, which wasn't great. And then Earth Tunnel, once I saw the Golem Rock Hollow combo, that was good enough.
Mm-hmm. Earth Cave also had sandworms up in the Earth Trap tile in the chest room.
Oh, good. So that would have been about equally good. Maybe a little faster, except they get a little run happy, but maybe not by level 24 or 25. But usually when I find a grind tile that's good enough, I'll stick with it if it's one of those. And if there's rock golems that a chance to appear, that's usually good enough.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Volcano didn't seem to have anything good in terms of trap tiles, but it did have a free katana, another ribbon, as well as a white shirt available.
Yeah, well, I guess I was eventually Team Vorpal today with the ninja on there, but it's just a poor man's katana.
There was a katana for sale as well, but it was fairly expensive.
Yeah,
Like
I definitely
6,000.
Missed that. I didn't check all my weapon shops like I should have, but or if it was somewhere easy, I must have missed it.
Yeah, right now we've got both of our on-stream runners taking on the evil robots. Mikey's down to a fighter and a white mage, but also only down to a single robot, whereas J-Lo is just getting the fight started.
Well, I hope they both do well. I'm very glad to see them able to make it tonight. And like I said, I'm happy with how I did on the race. It's just those screw-ups at the end happen. It's just when you're like, okay, let's go, go, go. I'm finding it a little strange that I didn't even catch on my night that he was getting higher spell damage, but I guess I was just too tunnel vision.
Well, I mean, you know, it's still early. You've got 2 more races tonight, and let's face it, you're in a pretty good spot in the standings right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's still okay, but just kind of like, when I'm a featured runner, it's nice to be the cautionary tale for everyone else. So if you're watching this at home, just remember, a ribbon in your pocket doesn't mean much.
Yep. And it looks like Mikey J has taken down those final bosses.
GG, Mikey.
With an official SRL time of 36 minutes and 3 seconds. Ooh, J-Lo's white mage goes down as we're getting ready to beat up some robots. One of them goes down, but that knight's only down to 14 hit points.
That's actually his ninja, but...
Yes, I was just about... what are words?
Don't worry, I mess them up all the time on Link to the Past. Trying to stay alive. Can he take down this Warmech before it kills him? 77
Come on!
HP. Stop. Ineffective. Misses.
But a miss.
Another miss. 54 HP. And yet another miss. Oh no!
Ooh.
And a crit, I think, just ends him.
That was a massive hit from that Warback.
Oof. Yeah, buying a Aegis Shield. I kind of don't blame him. That only resists Bane, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, Bane and Brack. Earth Poison Elemental effects. What was the shield that knight was carrying beforehand? Did you catch that?
I did not. I think it was an Opal Shield.
And in which case, it's the same amount of defense.
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit nicer, but it's not going to make that much of a difference.
Alright, so it looks like Jayla will be attempting this again. Almost loses the White Wizard as well as the ninja.
And we are joined by Mikey J. GG.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, not a nasty chaos this time around, was it?
No, that was actually. I mean, I was surprised getting 2 War Mechs, man, but they were paper. It was scary though. Evil Men and 2 War Mechs. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's not even the worst final boss we've seen these qualifiers.
Yeah.
I think the final boss is the thief, let's be real.
You know what? My final boss was actually my White Mage. But she was clutch with that fade. Going to Gaia and finding that fade was actually clutch for me in that last fight.
And of course, chat is now entering what I like to call the thief course.
I just find it funny that the first time I'm on the mic for Final Fantasy 1 community, we get a thief on the Chaos Rush.
I mean,
That's
you're
all I'm
welcome.
going to say about that.
Thief can use weapons and cast nuke and does afraid of everything. I mean, in my opinion, the thief is making a substitute for the black mage right now, because you've got access to all that black magic, just like the first half of the spells. Granted, you don't have that many charges, I'll admit it, but Thief does do good work.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah, in this case, Thief does do good work. Although, can't really have to use this. Oh! I didn't see that. Ouch. Carrie's apparently got the nuke spell.
And that's the power of that script shuffle I was mentioning earlier. Nuke 100 to 400 unresisted non-elemental damage.
Yeah, that could easily kill pretty much everything on JLo's team except for that knight. But even then, it wouldn't be in a good position if it rolled 400 all the time anyway. Yes, there was a white shirt sighting in Volcano's armory. As you can see, JLo found it there. There's also a ribbon as well as a katana for free down there in the lower levels.
Yeah, honestly, I think there were 2 ribbons down there, which was just incredible.
Oh, ribbons were actually available for purchasing over in Gaia.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things about this format is it's this really hard balance between trying to go fast, but also almost every tool you will ever need to beat this game is out there somewhere, probably at a shop. So you really have to find that strong balance between just going, doing your grind, and killing bosses versus trying to find what tools you need to take on things like these war mechs.
Yeah, it seems that the knight for JLo has the mage staff. Might benefit a little bit more by giving that to the white mage, but I believe the white wizard rather has the Thor hammer for AoE damage.
And of course, you know, just fade.
Yeah. I was referring more so to replenishable sources, or reusable sources of damage.
That's also fair. Looks like a second fade is going to take out those evil men. All but one of those evil men, I stand corrected.
Rolled low on that last one.
Yeah, so Crown was in the Corneria Castle shop for sale for about 300 gold, which led to finding the Power Gauntlet in the Corneria Armory. The king had the Moss Immune, and then...
Oh!
Oof. Come on, JLo, you got this.
He's gonna run away. Probably go get more levels.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm having that much trouble, I would 100% do the same thing. Looks like we're going up to the on-rack area.
He was only at like level 24.
Yeah. checking out the shop. Finds nothing but some potions.
Yeah, he probably wants to grind up to like maybe level 30, I'd say. Would be a safe threshold.
Yeah, checking some key item spots that I'm surprised he didn't check out earlier. Gonna get that ribbon in Titan's Trove, though.
Yeah, this will have out.
And finds a Chimera, which, you know, that's a good fight.
That'll be a decent chunk of experience. Oh, wow, I was not paying attention. His other two members are only just now hit level 20. Yeah, they're a bit underleveled.
Yeah, that does explain a bit. I seem to remember J-Lo only grinding up the knight, which works in some cases. If that final boss was even a little less brutal, that probably would have been a really strong strategy.
And that Frost Gator was actually an okay thing. A fight. Another opal bracelet and the ribbon there. Now I have a question regarding the Chaos the boss shuffle here for Chaos. Those evil men and those war mechs, are they immune to time magic? Could Zap work on clearing a little bit of that out?
So, in theory, yes. Only the Chaos monster himself resists time magic. So if you get Chaos and Friends, which is 1 Chaos and 8 Garlands, Zap can be really useful for clearing out those Garlands. The only issue is that a lot of the bosses you'll see there at the very end are going to have high magic defense, which will resist the Zap spell more often than not, and in some cases will make it about as likely as it is on Chaos anyway.
Well, picks up Lit 3, I believe, for his ninja, which will help actually quite a lot. It's on the level 4 charges, but guess a few of those and you should be able to one-run all the evil men.
Yeah. Volcano Armory wasn't good, however the 4th floor Volcano was just rich with things. It was incredible.
Yeah, picking up fast here, not bothering with Zap.
Yeah. Not picking up Bracky either, which works really well on some of the earlier Fiend fights. It's got a 25% chance to kill Tiamat 1 or Kraken 1, but unfortunately, Tiamat 2 and Kraken 2 are a little bit beefier, and Tiamat 2 loses her weakness to poison, stone, elemental spells, so the odds of that working go down a little bit.
Alright, let's see if this next attempt by JLo is the one. Has a couple more levels under his belt. Definitely wants to save those magic charges if he can help it. I think he'll be fine if he can just get one Lit 3 off with the ninja before the War Mech duo ends his life, as long with a fast. So he should be fine here. Just has to get back through Tiamat and Lich here. And Jayla's swinging with that Thor hammer. Alright. On his way to chaos once again. Touching his party as best he can. Opening with a power bracelet. Gonna cast haste on... No, he's gonna go with the white shirt. Focusing on evasion to start things off.
So, that'll be.
Alright, heal 3, touching out the party. Putting fast in the night. Gonna attempt to get rid of the evil man here. Swinging for the fences on those war mechs. Wants them gone first. Gets the fast off on his knight. It's gonna keep raising that evasion. One war mech down. Alright, this is the opening JLo needs. Going with a fade on the wizard. Down go the evil men. It's just the war mech versus his entire party, and they're all up. He's in a very good spot. He should have this. And down goes the war mech. GG's at JLo 7.
Finishing with an official SRL time of 54:57.
Yeah. Alright, folks, so that does it for Heat 1 of our Chaos Rush Day 4 things here. We have 2 more heats for you. Stay tuned, we'll be getting those to you momentarily.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Chaos Rush Final Fantasy I Randomizer Tournament Qualifiers. Here we've got the second seed of the night, and you might know that the party looks kind of the same.
Yeah, I'm getting a little deja vu here. Didn't we just have a thief, a fighter, and a white mage as our party?
Yes. Part of that's due to how the format is structured. The first slot is always going to be one of the three martial classes. So it's either going to be a fighter, a thief, or a monk. That third slot is going to be a caster. So a white mage, a black mage, or a red mage. And then the middle slot can be any one of the six classes. So given that that's a much smaller possibility space than, just randomly rolling all four party members, you're going to have some of these double ups.
Yeah. So, for the Heat 2, we have Asher here once again. We have Elijah Brath. I hope I'm saying that name right.
I think that's right.
We have Cheese Eater HS, and we have Greggly Puff. So, even though they have the same party here, the key items could be completely different. We might not see the Masamune, which I'm hoping they at least find something like the Tail Den, and I don't know, maybe the Adamant, so to give that knight the Excalibur.
And, even if you don't see that, some days you're stuck with just buying what you can from the shop. Your best bets there are the Ice Sword and the Sun Sword for the fighter. And then thief weapon options go way, way down without that tail.
Yeah, he's probably better off just holding up something like the black shirt or something at that point.
Yeah, so it is worth noting that here we have our top four finishers from the last qualifier. Let me pull up my real fast. Well, our top four outside of Tyrannex. Cheeseinator finished in second. Elijah Brath finished in third. Greggly Puff was our fourth place, and Asher was our fifth place. So it's going to be an interesting competition from all four of these extremely good runners.
Yeah, we're going to be set to go in any time now. So the question now is, how will the seed treat them this time? Last time, it's not exactly the most pleasant chaos fight, I'll admit.
Yeah, I've been noticing that these alternate final bosses can sometimes be paper, and I feel like a lot of my practice seeds were, and sometimes we get things like that. And we are ready to start. Gates are opening up, and we'll see runners going short.
Alright. Now the question is, what are we going to find in our shops in Conaria? Because that's going to pretty much dictate how the seed goes. Last time we had the crown in the shop, in the item shop, so...
Yeah, that was super exciting. Most of our runners going straight into town, while Cheeseinator dashes straight up to see what Matoya has. Instantly rewarded with a ribbon.
In the white magic, we have Cure 3. I didn't quite catch what the black magic had, and we have opal bracelets for sale. And a Bane Sword.
Yeah, opal bracelets for 6k is really good. And that cheap rapier is going to, let the fighter and the thief do some early attacking on, say, Garland or Pirates. Alijabrap running all the way down to Crescent Lake, checking the white magic shop, finding Harm 3 but nothing else exciting, and we'll see what the old men in the circle have for us.
It's the bottle. I mean, that's a fetch quest that will lead to another key item, which will in turn give them another 20% bonus to their grind.
But at the same time, the lake in the back of Gaia is a bit of a schlep to get to, so a lot of the times it's not quite worth it to make that walk. Gregory Puff checking the unlocked chests in the Temple of Fiends, finding a falcon, but not much.
And Q from Eliezer, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm just gonna say AGB. Another ribbon found in the free chests in the dragon in town, or
yeah, up in the Cardia Islands.
Cardia Islands. And a pro cape. And
a war mech.
What?
Yeah, there is a robot on the loose in the Temple of Fiends.
Wait. I didn't even see that.
You see Gregory's dead fighter?
Oh, that was not
yeah.
Was it? Ooh.
But that does make for a really spicy grind spot later.
Oh my goodness! Masamune on the king again! And Asher at the Khazardians found a katana as well, so combat-wise they're good if they can just find the tail.
Honestly, I would just use the Thief as a meat shield and grind that fighter up. You're gonna have good enough armor. You've got the Masa.
Yeah, there was also a dragon armor in the Khazardia Isle, so that knight, if they can get him, is gonna be good to go.
Asher is checking Provoca. I missed the white magic, but it looks like the only good black magic in that town is going to be Warp. Ooh, chat pointing out that there was also a defense sword in the Cardia Islands. That's exciting.
Alright, checking armor here in Provoca. We're gonna another look at the white magic here on Cheesenator's side after reviving his team.
Asher choosing to skip the pirates due to probably the complete lack of area of effect. As we see Exfer and Harm 2 and Ruse in the white magic shop.
Unfortunately, I think Expert does not work in this. All I know is that
we fixed that.
Oh, you did? Alright.
Yes. So Expert now has a chance to eliminate an enemy's magical resistances. Thor hammers and defense swords for sale at Elfland.
And attempting the pirates, thankfully we have the safe pirate flag enabled, so they can't have something like 9 cremates.
Or nuke.
Yeah. Unsafe pirates, are not fun.
Or heck, even this early on, even something like Ice 2 is dangerous.
Oh, that's not good.
Just ask anyone who plays vanilla.
So we have Quake at level 4 for black magic, but level 4 white magic has both lives.
Well, I believe all of that is still white mage learnable. Level 4 black magic also has nuke. So that tail is super exciting.
Oh yeah, they want to find that tail. Might be behind the pirates here.
We'll find out pretty soon as Cheesenator slowly grinds those last few pirates down.
Alright, moment of truth. All the experience going on the fighter. It is the tail.
Oh my gosh. What a seed. What a seed.
Now, all the good stuff is at Khazardia Island. The dragon armor, the katana for your ninja.
Yeah, luckily you're headed there anyway, because you want that ninja to be able to cast whatever black magic you can find. And at this point, we know there's good stuff out there.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. The Ash are taking down Garland with the Bane Sword. Gonna be getting their Shiv and Masamune.
Bane strats are always super fun.
Alright, look at level 3 white magic here.
Wall is Viz 2.
Viz 2, probably the better of the two. We don't know if there's going to be a white shirt or a ribbon available, to be perfectly honest, but...
I think we've seen one ribbon so far, but yeah, both of those are really good spells just to have in your back pocket, just in case you don't find their effects duplicated by an item.
Oh, Dragonar are just being sold in the Elfland shop.
Yeah, of course, you don't need to buy what you can just find in a chest somewhere, which is going to be nice for anyone who runs up to the Cardia Islands to promote. Ali's looks like our first one to get that promotion, and Cheeseinator is hot on his heels as Gregley's taking off that way, and Asher is taking out some pirates to get that tail with the Bane Sword.
Yeah, and I just saw a glimpse of the Black Magic level 3. There's Lit 3 there, so even though Nuke is going to be the main offensive magic from the ninja, having an extra source of AoE is not too bad, especially on another magic level slot.
Yeah, and if you find things that are weak to lightning, Lit 3 is, I believe, actually a little bit stronger than Nuke is on those enemies, because it's 70 base power, and if an enemy is weak, it takes half again as much damage, so that's 105 base power, which is 5 more than Nuke. Looks like Ali's found some Gurpeeds in the volcano. Those are going to be some nice experience just to get that snowball going, but I don't think that's where we're going to see a grind.
No, especially because that was a random encounter.
Cheeseinator finds a phantom on the overworld, and speaking of bad grind spots...
Yeah.
For those of you keeping score at home, Phantom in Vanilla has exactly 1 gold and 1 experience point to give you on death. We've added a little bit of bonuses to that, but it's not enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. You ideally would want to find his cousin the Eye, who normally guards the floater in Ice Cave, unless you steal the chest using Warp.
Yeah, and for those of you who are familiar with vanilla speedruns, that eye grind is something that is really, really nice. Plus, with the randomized spike tiles, you can even find tiles that have 2 or 3 eyes. Also, chat's calling me out on my numbers. My multiplication was correct, but I misspoke. Lit 3 is actually base 60 power. It's Ice 3 that has the 70 and has that effect.
I think we just saw a second ribbon at the armory.
Well, that's exciting. Means that you'll only need to be casting that wall spell once, so at this point. Gregley's giving us our look into Gaia.
Black shirts.
Not bad.
Not bothering just yet. They're on the fairly expensive side, too.
Shadow Walker is... there are more mechs in the volcano.
Ooh, wow. Are they... What enemies shared between those two places?
So, we have also randomized the overworld encounters. It's not a matter of shuffling encounters around, but each zone gets a fully random set of encounters.
So this seed is just extra rude, is what you're telling me.
Oh no, it's extra beautiful. Warmech is my jam for grinds. Yes, all zones are randomized. Dungeons, overworld, it just throws all of the possible encounters into a bag and pulls them out.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see what we have to deal with when we actually have to do our grind. Looks like we're seeing a Hall of Giants here on Cheesenator's side.
Yeah, doesn't look to be that exciting.
Oh, it's Grey Worms.
Which, aren't bad. They're easily the least experience of their cousins, but they'll do in a pinch. Looks like the Pisco demons have decided to hang out in front of the katana in the volcano.
Oh, was the katana in the center chest? I must have misread it.
Yeah.
Ooh. You got something over here on Jigglypuff's end. We have some chimeras.
Ooh, that's juicy. I'm a fan of the chimera grind.
I didn't see that was a random encounter or that was the Earth Trap tile that had the sandworms last seed.
I think it's the Earth Trap tile. But, if you can't grind the robot, go for the chimeras.
The encounter said it is in fact the Earth tile these chimeras are on. Losing the ninja. Oh, and losing the white wizard as well.
Well, you want that XP to go to the fighter because that's going to be your main damage output. And it makes sense that the other two are going down because I think, if I were to guess, that fighter's the only one wearing armor right now.
Yeah.
And look at that, all the way up to 17.
I would at least get a few levels on the ninja. But I only say that because we know the nuke is available as well as Lit 3. Want to get a few spell charges on him?
Yeah, and you're going to need to get your ninja to at least level 15 to get any spell charges, and then you'll get an additional one for every 2 levels after that. But it looks like Gregley's going for that solo knight strat.
It looks like the Hall of Giants is guarded by wolves as well. Regularly checking Melmon's armor shop here, and there are ribbons here along with an Aegis shield, although they are both fairly expensive.
Yeah, that... being 4K shy of picking up a ribbon is always super painful.
Mage Staff also available, and Fade is level 5.
Yeah, and it looks like Cheesenator has just enough to get that 3rd ribbon. Gonna be a little disappointed when you gotta go back out and grind for that level 5 magic, but...
I mean, I don't
Where
think
was the crown? Asher just took out Astos.
Good question. I did not see it being picked up. I'm sure chat will fill us in, though. Apparently, according to chat, it was for sale in Elfland for 69 gold.
Nice.
Oh, we got some worms here.
Yeah, those are in the overworld outside of Melmond.
I mean, it's a random encounter, so can't grind it for certain, but that is still some good experience, I think.
Yeah, and if you know your encounter table manipulation, you can probably pull those off if that's your grind du jour, as it were. Cure 4 and Fade in that level 5 spot.
I really don't like that, unfortunately. Because you essentially have to choose between spending your charges on healing or dealing damage. Thankfully,
True.
we have the ninja. Thankfully, we have the ninja with Fade to back, or not Fade, a nuke to back it up. Eventually, but that doesn't really feel good to me.
Yeah, and at level 5, those charges are going to be a little bit hard to come by. But those Fade casts are likely going to be critical against whatever the alt final boss turns out to be.
Yeah, level 1 black magic here does not seem to be really great, so... We can steal some money here to buy a pro ring, or not a pro ring, an opal bracelet, rather. Gonna go ahead and give that to the white mage.
Best money a mage can wear. Best armor a mage can wear. That money can buy.
Except, you know, opal bracelets are not normally sold.
True.
I want to say
But welcome to Randomizer.
I want to say that there's only one opal bracelet in the vanilla game.
That is correct. It is on the mermaid floor of the Sea Shrine.
So yeah, you gotta pick which one of your mages you want to have for that on.
And Asher finds 2 key items back to back in the Corneria treasury. So that'll be nice if you're going out for a bit more grinding, but nothing too exciting for now.
Well, one of them was, ironically, the TNT, but not in the vanilla TNT chest. I think it was just one off to the left. Did he go far from home, that?
Yeah. French vanilla is always amazing.
And actually, hang on. Cheese Eater's making a dive. A ribbon actually available in the Astos Armory.
Yeah, looks like we got Carrie and Tiamat on one side, which means Kraken and Lich are going to be on the other.
Sorcerer is available in the side of Astos' Armory.
Which, without their death touch, are usually not that scary.
Yeah, probably even going to be some good experience here.
Oof, Tiamat's got fast, so she's about to get really bitey.
Oh, and has slow 2 as well.
And we haven't seen fast in a ninja alertable spot, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and we have Manticores in the center tile. Asher's not going to fight them. Probably for the best. I don't think they're that great, if I'm thinking about this right.
I'd have to double check, because I seem to recall them being pretty okay.
Alright, so it looks like Carrie and Tiamat is to the right, and we're about to see what our alternate final boss is this seed.
Yeah, so if you're wondering about those Manticores, that's gonna... Well, you know, if you find out that Warmech is squishy, you can go back out and grind it. I think Cheesinator is one of the ones who actually saw the robot earlier.
At least the evil men, half of them died at least. Looks like they have about maybe 175 health. Nuke following up. That'll clean up the evil men. At least to see they have a lot more AoE options available to them, so they're gonna just go to town with their magic at this point.
Yeah, and that fighter... Ooh! One Warmech goes down, so Cheesenator might be well on our... We might be well on our way to having our first finisher.
Yeah, one more round should do it.
Come on!
He's gonna heal just in case. That's it! Get your GG for Cheesenator HS, who has finished in first place with a time of 21 minutes and 32 seconds. What a seed.
Ali Gerbrap taking on the Wild Warmech.
Oh boy.
After my own heart. Plus, that's going to be really useful information for when you get for when he gets down there. You know, taking on a Wild Warmech means that when you fight Warmech and friends, you already know what you're up against. And now joining us is Cheesenator, our first place finisher in this race. GG.
GG, thank you.
So, how did you enjoy the seed? Did you have deja vu? Because I sure did.
Yeah, I almost didn't have time to enjoy it. It just like went so fast, and I was just feeling blessed that the things that were in Topher, like, even though I didn't have Fast or Saber or Power Bonk or anything, they all had low enough HP to take out. And with Nuke and Fade on the last fight, I was just like, sure.
Yeah, and...
So, you were one of the people who saw one of the wild robots running around, correct?
Wild robots?
Oh, I guess that explains why you didn't go for the overworld Warmech grind.
Yeah, there's some actually on the first floor of Tower Fiends, and there's also another one in the volcano of all places.
Wow, no, I found those gray worms, and I was like, this is okay. When it rolls 3 or 4, it's getting me there, and I only need to hit 24 to try Topher. Of course, I would have gone back and maybe looked for a better grind if it was a really, really tough Topher. But yeah, as soon as I had like class change, Fade, Nuke, well actually Fade was a late pickup, but class change, Nuke, Maza, Katana, I was just like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, I think you found what was the best overworld grind that was on the table for tonight. But some people did run into a wild robot on their way to and from killing Garland, which is always exciting to see.
Oh, I see. Yeah, my early game was actually a little bit wonky, so I failed to buy a second Saber for faster DPS on Garland, and then after Garland, my routing, what was it? I got like cremated by a couple of imps or something, and 2 of my characters died, so then I was like, okay, I'll res them when I get to Provoca. I do res them, or no, I res the White Mage. I split second decide not to res the Thief, because I'm like, oh, maybe the Thief is dead this game. But then I failed to go to the inn, so the White Mage is still level 1, dies right away on Pirates, and can't get magic charges there, and so the fighter has to spend the whole thing soloing. And I was just like, oh no, this is the worst Pirates, I'm doing this on stream, help me, please. Anyways, there's some exciting action happening. I want you to get back to your restream for the fans, so thanks for having me on.
Yeah, GG once again. As Asher is down to just the para robots, and Gregglypuff is about to pull those robots himself.
Yeah, something we noticed, or at least I noticed, is Kraken doesn't mess around in this one. Kraken had Rub and I believe also had Zap.
And not to mention, you know, eight tentacles of justice to hug you with.
Yeah, the Warmechs seem to be fairly tame here, so...
Yeah, this version of Warbeck and Friends seems a lot less brutal than Last Seed, so I'm sure all the runners are going to be excited about that, though all of them are definitely going to be worried when they see this roll up.
Well, except that Griggly has defeated a Warmech, so knows that they're not that bad. Speaking of defeating Warmechs, though, Asher coming in second place with a time of 26:13. Ooh, Griggly buff down to just a fighter. But gets it done. Very well executed there. And that'll put Griggly in third place with a time of 2:26:33. So, 20-second difference. Not bad.
And we are joined by Asher. GG.
Hello again.
You are tearing it up tonight.
Thank you very much. Though I got to give big credit to Cheesinator. He's really good at this game, and his time was amazing. I can't wait to watch his run. You may not know this, but he also runs Zelda Link to the Past Super Metroid combo randomizer, so he's like leagues ahead of me, man.
I mean,
that one.
I took a stab at Zelda 1 randomizer. That's how I got my started. And I'm garbage at that.
But no, thanks for the GGs. That run went awful for me at first. I'm amazed I was able to bring it back together thanks to some lucky Chimers that I found.
Yeah, consider yourself lucky for real. There was Warmechs on the first floor of Tower of Fiends. And also in the volcano. Just roaming around.
Yeah, I saw one in the volcano. I was like, I'll see you later. Bye.
And Algebra, fourth place, 2:27:51. All four of our feature four runners taking the top four spots. Very nicely done.
I mean, outside of Tyrannex, these were our top runners from the last seed too. So we're gonna have to watch out for these people going forward. As Ali Jabrap now joins us. GG.
GG.
So, tell us about that race. How do you feel this seed differed from last time?
Well, there were a lot of issues, I think, in this seed compared to the previous seed for myself. The one thing is, like, I didn't have crowd money twice. But the one thing that I was able to do was to know that Warmech was kind of early in Volcano, and I figured, you know what? I've got Masamune, I've got the Ninja with Nuke, I've got the White Mage. I don't remember if I had the White Mage at Fate. I'm not sure. And like I had like a ton of defense swords, so I was like, yeah, let's try to kill a Warmech. I'm like, that will give him the levels.
Yeah, you found one of the two roaming Warmechs we saw this seed. The other one floating around on the first floor of the Temple of Fiends, which actually ambushed a few runners on the way to Garland.
Oh, wow. So, like, there were Warmechs plenty in this seed.
Yeah, lots and lots of Warmechs next tonight.
And
Yeah.
we're now also joined by Griggly Puff. GG.
What's going on, everyone?
So, I'm pretty sure your fighter does not appreciate a Warmech right at the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, well, I saw that Warmech in Temple of Fiends, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this later. This is good knowledge to have, right? And then I just couldn't do anything with it. Every time I went in there to try to get some levels on my thief, it just was kind of falling apart. And I was just like, all right, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to go for it. I feel like I'm really behind. I'm not playing this very well. And I just went for it. And then I saw Warmech and Friends, and I was like, seriously?
Yeah, it's kind of a deja vu that we had the same party and the same end boss on this one. And
Yeah,
I'll also add this. That Warmech you found in Tower of Fiends was not the only Warmech around. There was another one in Volcano.
Yeah, I was actually watching this. That's how I found out I was actually a featured runner just now. I went to check the Twitch on Randomania 2 and was like, oh, hey, that's me there. And everyone's probably going, what is he doing in this race? Because the whole time I was like, what am I really doing right now? Like, I was just kind of all over the place and double diving all kinds of different areas trying to find stuff.
Yeah, these seeds kind of have that tendency to just... It feels like you have to do so much so fast that it can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, I as you guys probably saw, I settled in on the chimeras, even though they were way beefier than they had any business being, and I should have probably just gone over to the gray worm tile that I had found in the other part of Earth, and just dealt with them since they were a little bit easier. But chimeras were given the experience, and hell, I was piling it up on my fighter since he was the only one that could seem to survive it.
Yeah, and outside of the wild robot, I think those were the best 2 grind spots we saw.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. What I really wanted to do was obviously try to get some levels on my on my ninja so that I could get a few more castings of Nuke, and it just wasn't happening. I mean, he just kept dying. I just could not keep him alive. And for once, I was trying to keep my thief alive, and he kept dying. And I'm like, come on. You're supposed to do that in every other race, not this race.
Yeah, and it's a shame too because there was some decent black magic available for that thief if he could just get some levels to have some charges.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for featuring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
GG
also.
again, and once our last few racers finish up, we'll be moving into the third heat of this race. Any last thoughts from either you, Gregley, or Ali, on what you want to see in the next one?
Personally, I won't be in the last race because it's a little bit late. So I just hope for some chaos and that hopefully this will be a fun seat for all the other runners.
For me personally, I'm happy to see thieves in this race because this is the 4th day we've been doing this. I don't think we've seen a single thief so far. So for me, it was kind of refreshing to see it, to see what the strats would be around it. What I'd like to see is just a different party in general. I mean, fighter, thief, white mage, we've done that already. Let's go on ahead and just bring anybody else into the deal. And then again, same deal with just everything, like the king giving us massa, Warmech and friends. Let's just do something different.
I was about to say the same thing if you were gonna say it.
just some difference. A little bit of randomization. It's only Final Fantasy Randomizer, am I right?
All right. It's only Final Fantasy Randomizer.
All right, I'll see you guys at the third race.
Sorry, yeah. We've just had our 5th place finish from Tarnin with a time of 33:35.
All right, so the next heat, if I'm understanding this right, this is our last qualifier heat coming up here.
Correct.
So once that is done, we will know where everyone stands pretty much after final tallies, of course.
Yeah, and given that I'm the one in charge of doing that math.
Welp. chat is crying out for a black belt, it seems.
I mean, I don't blame them. But black belts are super, super fun to watch in these flags.
So I want to ask this question here while we still have a little bit of time. You said there's only one guaranteed physical character, one guaranteed spellcaster, and one that is always going to be is just going to be one out of everyone available.
Correct.
Can there be duplicates?
Oh, 100%.
So we could have 2 thieves next round.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe a red mage, just so it's a little bit fair, I guess.
Oh, come on. Thief, white mage.
I didn't want to be that evil, come on.
I mean, if you're going to go for troll, you might as well go for maximum trollage.
I suppose. But at the same time, I want our runners to have a good time.
I mean, I know I have fun with garbage fire parties. I'm the one who force-picked double thieves in the league last season. Fair. Neon Grey calling me out again. I was not the only one double grabbing thieves. But, like, I admit, it's a great play.
I couldn't even begin to figure out how to use a thief. I would just give you the seat at the spot of that you gave me those double thief.
To be fair, the way that format worked is that we each got to draft 2 of the 4 light warriors. And so, I mean, you could have picked whatever you wanted. You've just got 2 thieves in there.
At that point, I would just say, let's just go all in on this 4 thieves. Just make it the ultimate train wreck.
I love the way you think.
I mean, I've seen enough Link to the Past to see just what kind of evil nonsense the randomizer can throw at you. I expect this to be no different.
Yeah, so, Link to the Past Randomizer seems to be your home community, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. I've been looking to branch out here, which is why I've joined you guys over on the Final Fantasy side.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say welcome. I hope you're having fun. At least on this side of it.
Oh yeah, I've been having a blast here already.
So the other side of the coin is when are we going to see you racing?
I am more of a talker, not a runner. If I would actually be as good a Link to the Past commentary as I am with racing, I would be getting sub 145s all the time. But no, I can barely get a sub 2.
I mean, I've played Link to the Past Randomizer once. Once. That is a hard game.
I mean, I grew up with it. Ironically, I didn't grow up Final Fantasy. I did not have the NES S1 in my house. I had to play it later on when I got 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls.
Yeah, so I grew up, my parents owned an NES before I was born, aging myself a little bit. And so I grew up a little bit playing on their copy of, the original Zelda and Final Fantasy 1. I actually completely missed the Super Nintendo era, so I've had to go back and finally play things like FF6 and Chrono Trigger and Link to the Past on the re-releases.
Yeah, in my house, we've owned every Nintendo console under the sun. We just weren't as big as on the early Final Fantasies. But Legend of Zelda, on the other hand, I've had every single one that's been stateside in my hand, so at some point. So I know my Zelda. And someone is asking, is this just any we're just starting? A little bit of A, a little bit of B, I'd say. We still have one runner in the second heat still going.
And then we'll be ready for our third and final heat.
All right, seeing as we do have some time here, let's throw a little bit of predictions. What do you think we're gonna have as our party composition for the third one?
Oh, I hope I roll another thief.
I'll be honest, I'm hoping to roll another D2, but let's change it up a little bit. Let's have it be. Ooh, I got an idea. The no heal trio: thief, monk, black mage.
Ooh. I am down with that. I'd also be willing to give our runners a little bit of a white magic help and throw a red mage on there over one of the two. What do you think, chat? Place your bets.
Ooh, someone wants thief, black mage. That's a nasty one. I approve, but at the same time, that's gonna be an interesting one. Someone wants thief, red. I can see that one. That's actually would be a very fun party. So if you Deme wants black belt, white mage, black mage. A lot of good options here. A lot of good options. We'll see what the seed eat. We'll see how the proverbial dice land in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Noctis, the format is set up such that one party member is guaranteed to be a physical, character, so a fighter, a thief, or a black mage, a black belt. Wow. One is guaranteed to be a mage, so red mage, white mage, or black mage, and then the middle one can be any one of those.
Yes. And the fourth slot is taken up as a null. Now, that means it's not a party member, but it is a little... But they still have inventory space, so you can have them hold on to stuff. It's basically a permadead character.
Chat pointing out that thief is physical in the loosest possible sense. I mean, we had to lump them one way, and if fighter's physical, they don't get spell slots until after promotion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So someone's saying, shouldn't red mage cast a physical fighter? I'd say no, because by default, they start with magic charges. And I think that's what we're going for, a classification as a mage versus a fighter or a physical unit. It's classes that don't start with charges versus classes that do start with charges. So we are still waiting.
I mean, sometimes you just run into the wall of the Temple of Fiends, and I know that as a racer, I'm guilty of when I go and do a Temple of Fiends dive, and I wipe on the final boss. My default instinct isn't, oh, I need to go grind more. It's, heck, if I had just gotten a little bit luckier, I would have been fine. Let's go and just try it again and see what happens.
Yeah, or you're like me, in which you make a play, but forgot to save and have to redo your grind. I actually did that when I was practicing in preparation for my commentary tonight. Lost a good 5 minutes. It looks like we got some off-stream information here. Our last runner is in the Tower Fiend, so hopefully will not take too long.
Yeah, I mean, luckily these final bosses are a lot nicer than they were last time.
Yeah. And you have a little bit more readily available AoE charges in the form of Nuke, Lit 3, and the Fade on the White Mage again. And there we go, finally getting it done. Mikey J finishing in 6th with a time of 50 minutes 10 seconds. And with that, folks, how much longer until we hit the start of the next seed? I think we should just go right into it.
Well, we just rolled the next seed, so it's going to take a few minutes for everyone to get set up. But once that happens, we're ready to dive right into this. GG to all of our round 2 racers, and we'll be shortly ready with the next one soon.
Yep. Stay tuned, folks.
And all right, everyone. We've given everyone that little bit of a break they needed to make a new party, and we're getting ready for this third and final qualifier race of the night of the fourth and final qualifiers of the tournament.
And not only that, we're giving the 3 light warriors we used in the last few seasons a break. We're going to use the other 3, Black Belt, Black Mage, and Red Mage.
To be fair, they were in 2 seeds back-to-back, so I think they deserve a good nap.
I will completely agree with that, especially after dealing with double Warmech and friends. Yeah, double Warmech and friends pretty much twice in a row. They deserve a break.
And our gatekeeper's out, so the race will begin shortly.
Right,
I am so looking forward to the black belt punching the gods.
Yeah, indeed.
That's the nice thing about the black belt as... yeah, shout out to the... I think it's a fire truck in my background.
Alright, gonna start by looking at the magic. Ooh, and Viz 2 on level 1. And Quake at level 1 for black magic. And Bane as well.
That Quake can be fun because it'll still work on Lich 2. It's a little less likely than Lich 1, but if we see the Undead Fundead...
All of braces being sold. Defense sword, ooh, that's kind of expensive.
But, you just need one of those. The black belt can just swing it around and turn invisible, and that should be enough to carry the day. Len the Cat's our first one out of Corneria, finds a pretty early imp fight, which means that finding grind encounters on the overworld isn't going to be too gnarly.
And the king gives us a very weak boat.
I mean, to be fair, we've been getting the Sword of the Gods, the Mossmune, for the last 2 seeds.
Yeah, I suppose he's out of swords, so he's just gonna give us his fishing boat, I guess.
Besides,
I don't know.
We don't need swords. We have fists.
I mean, a sword would be nice on the red mage if he runs out of spell charges. Vanilla Rod again, by the way.
And it looks like Wrigglypuff dashed over to Provoker right away, as Sarah has the big boat to go with the little boat.
And yeah, just quaking all of those down. Get some early levels there.
Tarnin giving our first look into Crescent Lake. Finds pro rings for sale for 7k gold.
Vicky only having a slab for us.
Here, have this rock I found. But the Circle of Sages have the Power Gauntlet. So that's going to be fun. Means that if you get the chance, that black belt can buff up and punch even harder.
Yeah. We just saw the dragon armor being sold. It is super expensive. We have fast available in the black magic shop, along with Lit 3.
Whew, that is going to be really nice, along with that Brack, which, while not being necessarily good against our bosses today, if we find a nice, juicy single target on the overworld, could be nice.
Ooh, the white magic here is really good. We have a life, we have exit, we have cure 2.
And this, kids, is why you always check the white magic shop before you check your black magic with red mage, black mage, because you don't want to get locked out of life.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good spell. And there's also exit there as well, I believe. So I think in this case, load up the red mage on white magic on level 2.
Yeah, grab that life, grab that exit, and then whatever bit of black magic you think you're going to want.
Well, I would say just grab the Cure 2. Just give yourself some healing. It's not the best, but it'll do.
In longer, grindier formats, I would definitely think that's the correct play. But in Chaos Rush, where you're just going to be punching through things as fast as you can, I think skipping it is equally viable.
Well, someone who's going to be definitely skipping it is Gregory. Does not have room to carry that spell. Chose to take exit over life.
Which, Life 2 might still be out there. So that's finds a katana in the Temple of Fiends and a Zombal Troll encounter, which is really nice if they go down.
Except it looks like the party's going down, and they have stun touch. Ooh, oh no.
Yeah, Gregory resets, does not want any more of that.
We got Pro Range for sale in Crescent Lake. Fairly expensive, though. And
Yeah.
Dragon Armor for Gregory as well.
Level 6 nuke.
Oof. I don't think... Is that an learnable spot for the White Wizard? I don't think it is. Or Red Wizard, I'm sorry.
I don't think it's learnable for the Red Wizard. I don't even remember if it's learnable for the Black Mage. That might be a promotion spot.
The Warhammer is being sold in Elfland. Now, we're going to see a little 3 magic here. Ice 2, probably the best out of all these options here. We also see Confuse and Stun.
Which have their niche uses. It's always fun to watch someone confuse carry one, but heal 2 in a Red Mage learnable spot. That's nice.
Yeah, that's always nice. Second slot here is not learnable by Black. Oh, heal 3. And Cure Free, unfortunately, unlearnable by the Red Mage.
But that Harm 4 is also able to be picked up, which, again, if you find Undead, that's going to be something useful.
Yeah.
Fire 2 and Lit 2 are the only useful bits of black magic, as Cheesinator finds a Sphinx in the trap tile by the chest in Earth Cave.
Yeah. And Sphinx is here on the trap tiles. I want to see these are the better version of the Manticore.
That sounds right to me. But they're going down pretty easy, and they're giving about 3k experience to that party. So
It's not the best, but they're easy enough, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll take that any day just to get a little bit of money and a few levels to get things going. Looks like level 5 Black Magic has Fire 3, but not a whole lot else.
And Gregory Buff, with the Dragon Armor found in Tower of Fiends, immediately sells it for a hefty chunk of change to buy a couple of Pro Rings with it.
That's a really good play. I mean, it's not like anyone can wear that. Ooh, Tarnin finds some slimes in... I think that's probably the Hall of Giants. And that, my friends, is a grind.
Oh yeah, if that's our Hall of Giants trial. Oh, and it looks like it is.
Yeah, Love the Cat showing us that those slimes are, in fact, what we're probably grinding today. Tries to throw out a Quake. It sadly doesn't do very much. Greggly Puff finding some lobsters in the volcano. Not sure how they haven't dried out, but they go down nicely to a Lit 3.
So those slimes are going to be the ideal grind, but unfortunately, slimes taking a page out of a different RPG that I know. They're not exactly the easiest things to take down. At least they don't run, unlike their other counterpart.
Yeah. And they might be good once you've built up a bit. And we see both the black and white shirt for sale in the Gaia shop.
And the tail being sold in Gaia as well.
For 16,500. Unfortunately, Tarnin's about 3k gold short to pick it up, and it's always questionable whether you want to with the black belt.
I mean, I think the best way to play this is to grind first, then class change, just so your black wizard can have access to those late game magics if they're good.
Yeah. And of course, in a seed like this, depending on what you see. Oh, and the other armory trap tile is sea snakes, so it looks like the sea shrine has invaded the volcano today.
At least these sea snakes can't poison you. I believe that's what they can do in vanilla.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
And getting some decent early levels on the party there.
Yeah, those sphinxes are working out nicely.
I was referring to the sea snakes, actually.
Fair enough.
That pumped up Gregory by about 4 levels each.
And that's really good this early because our runners know that they want that black belt to hit level 32, which is where said black belt can finally get 8 hits with their bare fists. Oh, Cheeseinator coming back with Fire 3 on those slimes and just roasting them.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to deal with them. Also throwing a Fire 2 as well. So yeah, this will be a great amount of experience for him. Fairly easy to get. It is consuming spell charge, but ooh, that's gonna be a good group. That's gonna be a lot of juicy experience right there.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about Earth Cave in particular is that even if it does take a lot of spell charges to clear through one of these mobs, you're really close to the inn back in Melmond, so you can always pop back out, heal up, and then go back to your grind.
Yeah, this raid, Cheeseinator might be just done in the matter of. Well, he might need to go recharge his spell charges once.
So that Elfin armor shop, I saw ribbons for sure, and I think I also saw opal bracelets.
Wait, where's there opal bracelets in Canaria?
Like I said, I think I saw it. I'm not. I could have been wrong, but I know that there are ribbons for sale in Elfland for sure. It looks like these slimes are going down reasonably to a Fire 3 or 2 Fire 2s, so that's probably going to be what these runners take all the way up. Yeah, I might have seen opal something else, though.
And add a spell charges. Can at least attempt another group here. Ooh! I looked over at Tarman's. Look what he's found.
Yeah, that's a pack of 3 blue dragons. If you could take those out, that's going to be nice. But blue dragons are one of those enemies that, if they roll up, they're probably on par with some of the fiends.
Yeah, unfortunately, gonna reset there. Looks like it was a random encounter, or it could have been in one of the fire tiles.
No, the fire tiles were the lobsters.
Right. So yeah, probably the random encounter then.
Yeah. And now Tartan's diving into Ice Cave.
You know, it's even too much. And hey, it's Iroh. We haven't seen any of those tonight.
And joined by the Wyvern, that's going to be some really, really good experience points.
Tyro trancing, affecting the Black Mage, although it doesn't really matter too much.
Dino Dance Party!
Byron down, Tyro falls soon after. Decent amount of experience right there.
Yeah, it looks like these slimes can go down to a high roll fire too, which, oh boy, that's probably our best spot. Okay, it wasn't opal bracelets in Elfland, it was gold bracelets. Thank you to Cheeseinator for going there and letting me finally take a look.
So, Tarman diving Ice Cave is fairly interesting because if I recall right, the Ice Cave floater chest is not an incentivized location.
True. But on the other hand, you do have the eye tile, the tile just to the right side of it, blocking that chest there, then 2 more chest tiles down below, and then the one you drop down into. So there are a lot of different trap tiles in Ice Cave that could make for some really good grinds, assuming you can get out.
Well, getting out is no issue. We have exit.
Only if that red mage lives.
And a Gamma and Red Giant on this trap tile. Decent experience.
Yeah.
And hang on, Cheeseinator is making an attempt at the Fiends.
First up, we have Tiamat, Queen of the Dragons. Gonna power bonk, throw out a fast, and buff up with Invis 2.
Oh, Cerebus is found for Tarman.
Yeah, those fire cows are gonna go down to a couple of ice casts.
Cheeseinator's Black Mage firing off a nuke. Tiamat not wanting to be not liking that and fires back with a nuke of his own.
But luckily, Tiamat goes down, and our intrepid heroes have a chance to heal up.
All right. Behind Tiamat is the Lich.
Yeah, it looks like Cheeseinator went in there a little early. On the status screen, I noticed that their black belt was only at level 20-something. So it's a bit of a gamble. Normally, in black belts, you really want to get them to 32 so they get those extra punches. But with it, if Chaos is good, we could have a super fast seed, and this gamble could be incredible.
So let's play Whack a Garland.
Yeah. Chat mentioning that this is not the final boss you want to see with this gamble. I mean, all the Garlands go down to 1 nuke. And as long as Chaos isn't super spicy, if Chaos rolls down on things like defense and health, you can probably face roll this.
Yeah, it looks like we discovered him already.
Yeah, and 6 hits, 400 damage. I think Cheesinator's got this in the bag.
Fire off one last nuke. The 2 goes off.
Nuke for 344. 700 damages off that punch. No more nukes, but a Fire 3 comes out.
And that's it. Cheesinator finishing in first place with a time of 19 minutes 45 seconds. A sub 20. Wow.
Yeah, that is how fast these flags can go. We've seen a lot of nasty ones, but if you get good flags, this is what it looks like. Heck, I think the best time I've seen out of these is a 14-minute something.
Congratulations, Let's Go Stage 2 is the message, as we are now joined by Cheesinator. GG, and very strong showing here.
Thank you so much.
So, what made you, after those last 2 bosses, dive Temple of Fiends early?
I mean, I've just been having so much success going on relatively low levels, assuming I have offense available to me, which I did. I had a balanced party with some invis for protection. I think I was really lucky to survive the nuke from Tiamat. That probably made the run, though I guess everyone's still grinding, so I don't know who else might have been close behind me. But yeah, I had the offense, I had enough levels, and I just tried it, and it worked.
Yeah, slime grind there was a huge find there.
Yeah, when you were healing up after Tiamat, I saw that your black belt was under 32, and I was getting nervous.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I knew that, like, to kill the slimes, I needed AoE. So I was like, okay, well, someone's gonna have to die, so I'm gonna have to come back here and like start grinding all over again. And I started thinking about it. I'm already leaving to visit these towns to res. I'm leaving to go get my opals and stuff. Let's just try it.
Yeah, and you know, gambles like this pay off sometimes, and it's always so incredible to see.
If I can interject here for a moment here, unfortunately,
by all means,
4 has forfeited from the race. Len the Cat is done.
Oh no, he lost his grind.
Yeah, and that is brutal.
Wow. I'll let you all get back to commentating the action. The last thing I'll say is just about like the grinding the black belt to 32 thing. I recently checked that there's also a breakpoint at 21. So I was like, okay, well, getting a black belt into the 20s, at least you're going to do damage. And I had power bonk fast. So it's like, you know, you don't need to go to 32 every time. I'll just leave and get him a couple more levels if that's the case. And it turned out to not be the case. Anyways, thanks for restreaming me. GG to everyone, both in this race and tonight. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
You got to use everyone in the game tonight. That had to be a little bit entertaining.
And I'm looking forward to see how everyone does, you know, once we get to the actual bracket stages.
Absolutely. All right. See you then.
We have asked Len the Cat for an interview, but they have unfortunately declined. Understandable considering.
Yeah. Looks like Gregley is going the other direction.
Which will be,
in TOF.
which will be the K duo, Carry Kraken.
Quacking Carry 2. Oh my god, I'm so happy to see that.
Well, yeah, we had Team Edge and Lich on the other side.
But yeah, apparently chat noting that getting a Quake off on Carry 2 is a 3 out of 256.
Oh, we
which-
instant kill Carry. My mistake. I did not see that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's down to her MDef. She doesn't resist it then. Still, it's an insta kill spell that shouldn't have worked.
And Asher Wells in second with a time of 24:41. All right, let's see how Gregory handles the Garland squad here. Now, I want to ask this a simple question: is Garland or is Chaos in the same place for everyone?
Chaos is not even in the same place between fights. If you wipe, Chaos will be in a different spot.
Oh, okay. That makes things a lot more interesting now.
Yeah, this fight actually exploits the way that this game handles multiple just like the random party formation. So you can have between 0 and 8 garlands, then your Chaos, and then all of the other spots are going to be garlands. And these numbers are rolled every time you enter the battle. So it's all Chaos is always going to be moving around.
That is hilarious, and I am okay with it. Oh no!
Looks like that black belt went down. I haven't been paying too close attention, so I don't quite know how much damage the Chaos has taken. But going for the cheeky Brack.
From what I saw, it took 660 from the black belt before it went down, so probably somewhat close.
Okay, and was that the only other swing?
From the black belt, I believe so.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think this Chaos is going to go down. Tries to fast up the red mage, but black mage goes down.
Nope.
And that's a wipe from Gregory.
Gonna try the teammate side now.
Decides to nope the heck out of that one.
Yeah, I'm makes perfect sense considering teammate has nuke. All right, so we got a race here. Gregory and Tarman both on the carry fight. I think Tarman was a little bit quicker into it.
And Tarnan's also got a little bit higher levels. During that last dive, Tarnan was just grinding up. And I think has the highest level of all the featured runners we've seen tonight.
All right, so let's see if Kraken's going to be nice to Ooh, did we just see Kraken slap the black belt for like 500?
We saw the Kraken rub the black belt out of existence.
Oof.
I guess Tarnan hasn't picked up ribbons yet.
And Gregory Puff also gets rubbed out, it looks like. That was another beefy hit.
Well, that last one was 4 hits to the face for sure.
Going to attempt team out again. The team FF is arguably the better one if you can get past that that nuke.
And with the party's HPs as high as they are, the Red Mage and the Monk have really good odds of surviving that nuke.
As soon as you say that, there goes the Black Mage.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Unfortunately, in this game, mages don't have super high magic resistance. And so that determines whether or not you get the 1 to 200 range of the nuke or the 4 to 200 range of the nuke. I said that backwards, but okay. So not only was the Black Mage probably going to get 2 to 400 damage, it's random within that range, so it was about 50-50 odds of that Black Mage just straight up dying.
The mage is not having magic resistance. That's kind of backwards, but this is an NES game. I will let it slide. Nothing can be truly perfect in that era.
Harm 4 taking out the Lich for Gregley.
Alright. Moment of truth here. And Gregley, keep this in mind. Gregley did not buy life on his Red Mage. Instead bought Fast Rack and Exit. So no room for black magic strats here. There. No room to revive the Black Mage.
Yeah, looks like we're taking out the Chaos and the Garlands now, as Tarnin is bullying the Lich.
Alright. So Tarmin is now through as well. Going to be joining Gregley in the Chaos fight. Different story here, though, as the full party. Got a nuke, and that's going to wipe out all of the Garlands here.
As we're seeing double a little bit as Cheesinator's stream becomes Gregley's actual stream.
Garland's front and center for that. Gregley gets him. Very nicely done.
Woo! GG with an official SRL time of 31 minutes, 36 seconds. And Tarnin's down to Chaos. So GG, Gregley Puff.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Yes, GG.
And GG's to Tarnis as well. 4th place, 31 minutes, 57 seconds, it looks like. And that wraps up our feature 4 for tonight. So, did you at least enjoy the fact you got to use all the parties, all the Warriors of Light tonight?
Yes. Yes, I was very happy about that. I knew at some point that I saw a mage staff somewhere, but didn't remember where they were. And I thought that might have made dealing with slimes a little easier, even though they were ambush happy. And it was not my ideal grind tile. I would have wished that the blue dragons would have worked out a little better, but obviously that wasn't working out either. So...
yeah, I believe I saw the mage staff in Corneria.
Oh, of course it was. It was like in the first city. I mean, the slimes had like no health. They went down to like 1 fire 2. So it would have been good to grind my black belt using the mage staff. But I'm sure there were probably other situations that worked out a little better.
I mean, for the most part, people seemed to go for the slime grind at the end of the day. They went down pretty easy to the fire 2s or fire 3, as you noted.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, like I said, they were ambush happy, so they weren't like ideal. I had to keep resetting out every time I fought one just because they would ambush me, and I would save more time just exiting out and hoping that they wouldn't ambush me the second time, or third time, or fourth time.
Right. And we are joined by our last restreamed runner, Tarnan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
My fingers don't work, and I'm bad at this format.
Well, both of you were actually on Chaos at roughly the same time. Unfortunately,
What, me and Gregley?
yeah, you
Yeah.
started the fight just a little bit later.
Yeah, and then
Gregory
I was overly cautious with how paper that chaos was.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Gregory was actually doing it too, man, because I believe it was Tiamat who knocked out his Black Mage.
Mm-hmm.
With a nuke.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
T had nuke. I didn't get to see that one.
Yeah, and also, Gregory, if I can just speak bluntly here, you made one very minor error in this, but it ended up being the difference in this race, pretty much. You checked the white magic in Provoca second, which in turn made you have to choose between life or exit as for your red mage.
Mm.
If you had known that both were there, would you have changed your spell selection? Gregory?
Well, I ran into that issue as well, and that's why if you were watching, I generally in Provoca I check white magic and then go to black magic before going back to white magic, because I've had that happen one too many times. And it costs 2 or 3 seconds, but in a different format, 2 or 3 seconds usually doesn't end up costing you a race.
Yeah, so Tarnan, one of the things I noticed was that you definitely were trying to find another grind tile. What were you looking for?
Anything that either died to Lightning 3 or could be solo ground by the BB once he hit 22. Or just any of the really solid good XP encounters. And I oversearched, and stupidly never checked the level 5 shop, because if I checked the level 5 shop and seen that Fire 3, then I could have just stayed on Metal Slimes the whole time and been fine, and not done that ill-fated dive into Marsh, into Ice Cave that I just messed up every step of the way, miscounting my spell charges so I didn't have exit, and just the whole thing. It was not a good race. But
I mean, those happen.
Yeah, I was looking for just basically something that was in the upper third of grind tiles that died to the spell selection that my red mage had available to him, since he was the most severely limited in magic. And I just overexplored. I shouldn't have. I should have just settled in on the metal slimes much, much earlier, and it would have been a better strategy. I'm guessing that's what the players who finished, 8 minutes before me did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the right. What's that now?
Cheater actually decided that after the grind, just immediately dive Chaos and try his luck, and managed to break through.
Yeah, so you can definitely do that in these seeds. There are end bosses for which that is definitely viable, and this one obviously, could have been that, and for Cheeseinator was, because that Chaos was really, really non-threatening. So the trick was just have had the money to buy the ribbon so you could live through the left side, or get lucky to live through the right side, and then the end boss was free. And so it's not surprising that the person who won had that happen for them.
Well, GG to you, Tarnan. GG's to all the runners who took part tonight.
Yeah, thanks for putting this on. Thanks for doing commentary. I hope it went well on y'all's end.
Well, as nice as it could have.
Sure. Well, but now we've finished all 12 of those seeds, and so it is time to move on to finished as soon as this one finishes up, but now we get to move on to the rounds, which will be quite exciting, and we'll see how quickly I get knocked out. I'm guessing round 1, but I'm told that I might make it to round 2.
And I'm working on crunching the numbers for tonight's races right now as we speak, live on Twitch. Never do math live on Twitch, kids.
How exciting. All right, thanks for everything, y'all. I'm going to drop off the call.
All right. So, GG's to all of our featured runners tonight. They put on an excellent series of races for us. And we were only on Randomania, if I recall right. Yes?
We have been on Randomania this whole time, and I believe that I'm not entirely sure whether or not we're going to stay here, but it's been a really good home for us. Thank you so much to the Randomania family of network.
Yeah, make sure to give the Randomania Networks a follow here as well, because we're, of course, not the only channel here. We got a whole slew of other